simple monuments to the gods, or complex puzzles that we are just beginning to understand? Are there still secrets here, hidden in the sands for all these centuries, waiting to be revealed? Could the temples express a scientific knowledge beyond the imagination of the Victorian scientists who first unearthed the stones? Do the temples express ancient unity, religion, art, science, and philosophy, the unity of man and cosmos? Were the temples actually early masters of mass communication, interactive tools relaying an ancient wisdom? Recent discoveries are beginning to suggest that the temples were not just the location of the teaching, they were the teaching. An astonishing example is the Temple of Luxor. After recent revelations, some now call it the Temple of Man. Could this temple, built over a period of 5 centuries, have been planned entirely in advance? Could Luxor's very blueprint reveal a sophisticated understanding of the human body? Is it possible that the ancient Egyptians had a knowledge of human reproduction at the microscopic level? Our original research suggests that even Luxor's main entrance could have a startling significance. Is this a visual metaphor for the human brain? Temple of Man, yet another remarkable discovery of unexplained nature.
Temple is a puzzle, an expression of artistic genius unequaled in all of time, yet originating from the very earliest recorded history. Unorthodox masterpieces of mass communication, still transmitting their timeless message. They're still performing not only as repositories of this ancient and alien culture, but also as an ever-present blueprint to elevated states of genius and creativity. The temples are not just repositories, but timeless teachers. An ancient reminder of previous high watermarks of human achievement.
Some of the most tantalizing aspects of Egypt remain unexplained. In fact, it can safely be said that more remains unexplained about ancient Egypt than not.
The temple was the highest expression of ancient Egyptian culture. The perfect integration of art, science, psychology.
The whole layout of the human body. See, God will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is exactly what they did. You got your hyperstar hall, your holies of holies, and then the other hall was called the multi-purpose room or multi-function room. You can actually find these same layouts on earth right now, stolen by the Christians and by the Jews. They can set up their temples with using the same layout and won't even let you know that that's why they got in the Christian church now, talking about the holies of holies. And how can they call themselves having a room called the holies of holies when they have never done anything but perpetuated war all over the planet? All right? The whole layout of these temples are always set up the same way your reproductive organs is, and the layout of your pituitary gland, your pineal gland, and your hyperstar gland is inside of your head. They even got one of those halls called the hyperstar hall. To show you what I'm talking about is true. If you think I'm lying, go check it out. Push hyperstar hall on your YouTube search page up here and then see what pops up. It's spelled HYPOSTYLE, I think.
And theology. A transcendent map of a reality in which all of these disciplines were fused as one.
The temples represent a technology employed by the ancients to encrypt and transmit their most important cultural ideas. They preserved the accumulated understanding of a vastly ancient culture.
Each temple was a chapter in the teaching of the overall Egyptian worldview. Studying them was a lifelong pursuit of the dedicated initiate.
40 years is what it took for an initiate to become a master or a priest, or what you could call honorable enough for the sacred bathing. The baptism that you was talking about John the Baptist was doing, they came on the earth way after we had so many baptizing pools all over Egypt. It's pathetic. Then they come in and bring you all their lies about Jesus being baptized by the great John the Baptist, and then, you know, I'm trying to say, how does the great Jesus get baptized by a man who later ends up, you know, everything about him was World War I, because if we remember, didn't they kill John the Baptist? I don't know. I'm not going to get on point. But my point is, they show him as being a madman that was living out on the skirts of town, and everybody thought he was weird and spooky, you know. And it's just ridiculous to believe that all of the corroded existence on the earth, you could just get baptized in water, and some preacher that you don't even know who he is say a few words, and that's all that's necessary. Where in ancient Kemet, you proved yourself as an initiate for 40 years before you went through a baptismal ceremony.
Taken together, the temples archive and transmit the timeless secrets of creation.
And this is what the adversary does not know about. We are talking about a creation produced 950 billion years ago by Prime Creator, and then Prime Creator subdividing itself into 3 orders of yanas, and then using these yanas to think all things into existence. This is something the adversary could never even conceive of as being the genesis of this creation. It destroys the nonsense they have created in the Bible. That bullshit. The benevolent extraterrestrials who took the implants out of Ashana Dean explained to her that black people should never read the Bible, principally because it is saturated with so many horrendous lies that it blocks the pathways back to the true experiences themselves which black people had produced upon this planet within that framework of 560 million years of black spacecraft civilization here, and will not allow for the group or individuals to retain that information by dusting off the DNA, which has a direct disciplic line of connection as an experiences of this story, which is a universal story of black people who dominate this universe by some 99.910%, thus proving that the savage slave traders did not know who they were dealing with. This is Prime Creator's creation, and this plan, which reveals this beast as being the beast that they are, is the plan of the Supreme Being personality of Godhead and the game masters, along with the ascended masters and the Christ beings, as well as the Melchizedek order of beings. The black experience as the victims of the 550 years of the Atlantic slave trade by devils who ran it. The game master's purpose was to make that steel even stronger from fire to sledgehammer. It illustrated what soulless humanoids would do if given the opportunity to enslave and exploit others. These others just happen to be the descendants of the superhuman Tyrannosaurian spacecraft civilization created on planet Earth 560 million years BC. The resurrection of these Christly humans would be the proof of immortality embraced by the Supreme Being personality of Godhead having his chosen children as that proof. This is where the concept of the chosen people of God was stolen from by the Zionist Hebrews. Listen up, listen up. Expose these beasts. Put an end to their world. Get their asses running like a scared little girl, running from the people. Punk-ass sheeple themselves. Been lying and deceiving. Got folks believing their backwards junk smells like a skunk. U.S. secret government and murderous Israeli Mossad did 9/11 for their devil god. Jehovah, whose world is over, like a one-leaf clover, rover, off to Africa's north to kill more cloth wrapped in human bodies. Sam selling perverted hotties on a Hollywood blonde-haired shore, never to come no more, is the final score.
I say. Hotel, can you guys read that? It says, freedom come with understanding who you are. Man, know thyself. Ancient African proverb. I always tell you that. Man and woman should know thyself. Freedom will come with understanding who you are. When you understand that you are God and goddesses, you will surely be free. Until that time occurs in your life, you will always be the property of the person who sells you a God outside of your true self-God that was manifested and giving you the needed source of life to exist. And then you overlook all that inside of you and make an outside source of life that's no greater or different than yours become your God. And in your case, worse than that, you picked a God that's not even an outside source of life. It's just a whole bunch of icons and descriptions of theologies and mostly theoretical arrangements of shit to keep you in stupid paradigms of lockdown. Now this is Dr. Ray Higgins right here. Dr. Ray Higgins, who is another one of the many people that I've listened to get a whole lot of my knowledge. And little as it may be now, it's getting ready to become even greater, I'm sure, because I know what I should spend my